Okay, this is a demonstration of suspension management and a suspension letter plugin that's in this organization in an Ontario setting. So I'm in a training school with fictional people. I only have the 21-22 school year built, so I'll have to adjust some dates. Sitting at the school level, you should see an incident management if you have permissions for it. Click on that and it'll give you the list of the suspensions in this current school year. You can choose from previous school years as well. If this button does not say create detailed incident, you'll have to hit the down arrow and choose it. So we're going to create an ONSIS discipline. I'm going to change the year here, put it back into 2021. Actually, I'm going to adjust it a little bit. I'll put it on the 15th. And this is the title that appears in the previous screen with the list. So this, I'm going to say sidewalk damage. Perhaps avoid student names here. Because on the previous screen, if you look at 15, maybe you want the names, maybe you want to avoid having the names. You can put more details here. Again, perhaps no student names. Sidewalk was intentionally vandalized. Okay, and we'll say where this happened. We'll say on the school, not on the school bus, on the school grounds. And you can put more details, west end of the building. Okay, that's pretty much all you need in that area. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add people. The minimum, obviously, is the person who's going to get the suspension for the behavior. So I'm going to choose from students, and it's going to be read a book. I'm going to add her. You can add the reporters and the victims and the witnesses if you wish. So Rita is the offender. I know it says add participant attributes. That's actually adding the participant to the incident. So that drops her in this area. Okay, so we've got her taken care of. Now we need to actually attach the elements of the incident. So the first one should be the first one in this list, and that's the action. The action is an ONSIS suspension. And it's usually a principal authority, and we'll put in the dates that it's going to happen. So this happened on September 15th, 2021 at the end of the day. So we're going to start her suspension on that day. Maybe it's actually the 16th, because she wouldn't be suspended if it happened at 3 p.m. So now it'd be 9/22, 2021. I think that would work, right? From the 16th to the 22nd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. All right. We don't really need any action taken detail or resolution date, but we do have to do this. We're going to say that it's a 5-day suspension. I'm going to put it in both boxes, assuming that it will actually be 5 days. And I'm going to skip down to the bottom. You do have to do the program type, and usually it's academic only. If it's non-academic, then you need to make the choice here of what non-academic programs are being implemented. So academic only, you can put completed, did not attend. If you leave it blank, you need to come back and fill it in as did not attend or completed at the end so that ONSIS picks it up, because it does need this. Okay, so I'll add that action. So the suspension is now attached to the incident, but it's not attached to this person. In an instance where there are two offenders, perhaps a fight or something, you would have two people. You may have two different suspension lengths, so you need to have them associated with the offender. So what you do is you grab that, hold down your button, and drag it onto the person. And now that suspension is attached to Rita. If you had another student, you'd have to create another incident and drag it onto them. All right, so that gets the suspension part onto Rita, but it doesn't get the behavior. Skip object, go right to behavior. And what we're going to do is we're going to say it's a suspension type, and it's vandalism. Now, this is the comment part of the suspension letter. Okay? You can describe with student names in this box. So in this case, what I'm going to do is make some space here. Rita was observed using a jackhammer on the sidewalk. All right, we don't need to deal with these things. We'll just add that behavior. Again, it's sitting up here. It's not attached to Rita yet, so you have to grab that and drag it onto Rita. Boom. Okay. Now, I can't do the letter yet because none of this stuff has actually been saved to the database. I can't start doing the letter. So what I have to do is I have to submit the incident. And now I get back to the list of incidents. And this is the one that we're dealing with. And so now when I click on it, it'll load up all of the information that we had before. And now I have links for the suspension letter. So if you need to edit the suspension letter, you can download the Word version and make changes to it. But this is the web page version. So if I just click on the web page, it loads up with the board logo and the school logo, and it will have, by default, the current date. So if you need to edit that, there's a way of editing it on the previous page. I'll come back to that in a moment. So this is being sent to her mother, wrote a book. And it has the details. It'll have the OEN if the OEN is available, if there's a homeroom, etc. And this is the customized letter format for this particular organization. But if it needs to be customized differently, of course, we would make this suitable for the environment. So the reason for the suspension is vandalism. So that was the drop down. And then specifically, and then you have the behavior comment. So Rita was observed using a jackhammer on the sidewalk. Of course, this stuff wouldn't be in there. Okay. So let's take a look at how we can adjust this date. So now this is to print it directly. It just pulls up the print dialog. And this is to close it. And we'll go back now here. And what we need to do is change the date of the letter. Clearly, it doesn't make sense to have this thing happening way back on in September of 2021 with the suspension letter date on 2023. So you can change this date. You can use this calendar. I'm just going to change it to 1 here. Now we have a problem. I cannot use this link because I've made a change and I haven't saved it. So I have to click on this, and it says changes exist on this page. Please submit changes to reload before accessing suspension letters. So I'm afraid you have to hit submit and go out here, click on it again, and now that letter date is changed. Click on it and you'll have the letter date updated in there. All right, that is the extent of a simple suspension with the letter incorporated. The additional pieces you can do, you can have multiple offenders in the same event, which I would recommend. And you can include victims, reporters, and witnesses if you wish. Okay? And that's it. Thank you.